Fear. It is the one emotion every human being understands. The racing heart at footsteps behind you, the trembling before an exam, the chill when you stand near a cliff. Fear is not just a feeling. It's survival. It guided our ancestors to avoid predators, seek shelter, and live long enough to raise families. Without fear, humanity might never have reached this moment. But here's the question. What happens if fear disappears? Not just for a second, not in moments of bravery, but completely. Gone from your life. This is not imagination. It is reality for a rare few. A genetic disorder called Urbach-Wiethe disease can destroy a small part of the brain called the amygdala, the alarm bell of human survival. Scientists studied a woman known only as SM. She lost both her amygdalae. Haunted houses, horror movies, poisonous snakes, none of them stirred fear in her. She smiled at what terrifies the rest of us. Another case is Geordie Cernick in the UK. After treatment for a hormonal condition, his body stopped producing adrenaline. Skydiving? Calm? Roller coasters? Silent. At first, he thought he was free, but without fear, his sense of risk vanished. He had to relearn danger logically because his body no longer warned him. So, life without fear may look like courage. In truth, it is something else: vulnerability. To understand why, we need to pause and ask, what is fear really? The amygdala detects threats in milliseconds. Before you even think, it floods your body with adrenaline. Your pulse rises, your muscles tense, your pupils widen. You are ready to run, fight, or freeze. But fear is not only physical, it is also social. Fear of punishment keeps laws alive. Fear of shame protects trust. Fear of loss makes us treasure what we have. Even empathy, the ability to feel for others, is linked to recognizing fear in their eyes. So when fear is erased, the cost is more than personal. Society itself begins to lose balance, and yet fear is not always a blessing. Sometimes it overreacts. Speaking on stage can feel like facing a predator. A small spider can send someone screaming. Trauma can lock people inside invisible prisons. This is the paradox. Too much fear suffocates. Too little fear destroys. Science shows us the truth. Fear must be balanced. It sharpens our focus and keeps us alive. But when it takes over, it paralyzes us. Now let's shift the lens from science to revelation. The Quran does not treat fear as random chemistry in the brain. It calls fear a part of life's design, a purposeful test. In Surah Al-Baqarah says, "And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient." 2:155. Here, fear is not an accident. It is one of life's teachers, shaping patience and resilience. But the Quran also speaks of a higher kind of fear. Not the instinct that warns us of lions or cliffs, but the reverence that reminds us of accountability. In Surah Al-Mulk says, "Indeed, those who fear their Lord unseen will have forgiveness and a great reward." 67:12. This is not terror, it is awe, a fear that guides, not paralyzes. And to complete the picture, fear is never meant to stand alone. In Surah Al-Imran, the reminder is clear, "And when you have decided, then rely upon Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him." 3:159. Just as science teaches us to respect fear, revelation teaches us to balance it, with reliance, with faith, with trust. What then do we learn from those rare lives without fear? They remind us that fear is a gift. Without it, humans lose caution, empathy, and moral restraint. They remind us that balance matters. Too much fear enslaves, too little endangers. They remind us that biology tells us to fear predators, but faith teaches us to fear injustice, arrogance, and the loss of moral direction. And they remind us that in the end, safety is never absolute. Preparation can only go so far. Trust in Allah is the anchor beyond the limits of the brain, beyond even the wiring of the amygdala. Imagine for a moment a world stripped of fear. Children stepping into traffic without hesitation. Leaders making reckless decisions without concern for consequence. Societies ignoring warnings until collapse. Now imagine the opposite, a world drowning in fear, suspicion everywhere, paralysis at every step, people too afraid to live. Neither world is livable. The truth lies in the middle, courage guided by fear, fear guided by wisdom, and both anchored in trust. The rare disease that stops us feeling fear is not just a scientific story. It is a mirror for humanity. It shows us that fear is not an enemy, but a teacher. It protects us when it whispers caution. It grows us when it challenges our patience. It uplifts us when it connects us to something higher than instinct, our accountability before Allah. So the next time you feel your heart race, ask yourself, is this fear protecting me, or is it controlling me? If it protects, thank it. If it controls, tame it. And in both cases, remember, real courage is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it.